Protoroctopus is an extinct genus of cephalopod that lived in the Middle Jurassic. It is only known from a single species Ribeti and has been found in La Vault-sur-Rhône in France. While originally interpreted as an early octopus, a 2016 restudy of the specimen considered it to be a basal member of the Vampyromorphida, less closely related to octopus or vampire squid than either of the two groups are to each other. A phylogenetic analysis by Kruta indicates that Protoroctopus may be more closely related to the Vampyromorpha based on its unique morphology: 2 fins, head fused to the body, 8 arms, 2 rows of oblique sucker, a gladius and absence of an ink sac. Physically, Vampyromorphida somewhat resemble octopuses, but are often called vampire squids. Unlike octopuses, their 8 arms are united by a web of skin, and 2 smaller cilia are also present. Properly speaking, the vampire squid does not possess cilia, but cirri. A new late Cretaceous vampyromorphid coleoid, Nenemotuthis, is described on the basis of 2 lower jaws recovered from the Turonian of Hokkaido, in Japan. The lower jaw of this new species consists of equally sized outer and inner lamellae, and the crest portion of the latter is wholly covered by the former. The vampire squid has a distinctive appearance with large, red eyes, a cloak-like webbing between its arms and dark-colored skin, giving it a somewhat sinister appearance. It is capable of producing bioluminescent light from photophores on its body. It uses this bioluminescence for camouflage, communication, and possibly to deter predators. They inhabit the deep ocean at depths ranging from 600 to 1500 meters, where there is little to no light. When threatened, the vampire squid can turn itself inside out by wrapping its cloak-like webbing around its body, forming a defensive posture known as the pineapple posture. This exposes numerous sharp spines on its arms, which may deter predators. Adapted to the low oxygen levels in their deep-sea habitat, they have a low metabolic rate compared to other cephalopods, allowing them to survive in environments with limited oxygen. They also have a unique reproductive strategy where the male transfers sperm to the female using specialized arm structures called hectocotyli. The female then stores the sperm until conditions are favorable for fertilization. Unlike other cephalopods, the body of the vampire squid is not muscular and firm but rather gelatinous and soft, which allows it to withstand the extreme pressure of the deep-sea environment. Due to their deep-sea habitat and elusive nature, much of the vampire squid's behavior remains mysterious. Scientists are continually studying these creatures to better understand their ecology, behavior, and role in deep-sea ecosystems. The diet of the glowing sucker octopus consists mostly of crustaceans, with the majority belonging to groups such as Calanoida, Mysidacea, and occasionally Isopoda. Although observations of hunting and feeding behavior seem to be absent from the literature, it has been reported to float passively with arms contracted, webs curled into a ball, and eyes hooded, until disturbed by research submersibles. Glowing sucker octopus is noted for inspiring self-adaptive, soft robotic grippers used for underwater handling of various objects. The gripper closely mimics the sucker and web structure of this species, which is adapted for preying upon crustaceans of differing size and shape. The resulting robotic gripper is therefore superior for grasping round, concave, flat, or irregularly shaped objects when visibility is low or conditions are turbid. In a study of Arctic cephalopods, 3 specimens of big-fin jellyhead, all female, were caught near the ocean floor at 3,000 meters at these depths. Practically no light penetrates, the temperature is about 4 degrees Celsius, and observation is only possible by submersible, which makes these octopuses difficult to collect. Their ecology and biology are little known, but they seem to be fairly common in the seas around Greenland. The eggs were found to be large and were laid on the bottom, singly. Their diet was found to comprise small crustaceans and polychaetes worms, all small benthic or epibenthic prey items. Observations of animals in the Atlantic reveal that Dumbo octopus often rests on the seafloor with the arms and web spread out and uses its arms to slowly crawl along the seafloor. When disturbed, the webbing and arms are contracted to push the animal off the seafloor, with it then transitioning to movement using the mantle fins for rapid locomotion. Although it has been suggested that species of Grimpeteuthis are capable of jet propulsion. Feeding behavior has not been directly observed in Grimpeteuthis, but presumably is similar to Opistheteuthis that trap small prey items in the webbing and then use the cirri, finger-like projections along the arms, to move food to the mouth. Known prey items include benthic polychaetes, benthopelagic copepods, amphipods and isopods. Japanese flapjack octopus is a small octopus. The animal's maximum size, measured from one arm tip to the opposite, is 20 centimeters. It has large eyes and small fins. Like other members of the cirrate octopus subgroup, it has a fleshy web connecting its arms, a small internal shell to support its body, fins to help it swim, and small fleshy tendrils called cirri lining its arms. The octopus may have been named for its relatively flattened body shape. Most specimens live in the ocean's bathyal zone, where sunlight doesn't reach. Octopuses of this species have been found from 130 to 1,000 meters below the surface. Like many other cirrate octopuses, they live on or above the seafloor. The gelatinous giant octopus is sometimes called the seven-arm octopus because in males, the hectocotylus, a specially modified arm used in egg fertilization, is coiled in a sac beneath the right eye. Due to this species' thick, gelatinous tissue, the arm is easily overlooked, giving the appearance of just 7 arms. However, like other octopuses, it actually has 8. Isotopic, photographic and video evidence have shown complex interactions between this octopus and jellyfish and other gelatinous zooplankton, from feeding to protection, respectively. The Argonauts are a group of pelagic octopuses. They are also called paper nautili, referring to the paper-thin egg case that females secrete. However, as octopuses, they are only very distant relatives of true nautili. Their structure lacks the gas-filled chambers present in chambered nautilus shells and is not a true cephalopod shell, but rather an evolutionary innovation unique to the genus. It is used as a brood chamber, and to trap surface air to maintain buoyancy. It was once speculated that Argonauts did not manufacture their egg cases but utilized shells abandoned by other organisms, in the manner of hermit crabs. Argonauts are found in tropical and subtropical waters worldwide. They live in the open ocean, i.e. they are pelagic. Like most octopuses, they have a rounded body, 8 limbs and no fins. However, unlike most octopuses, Argonauts live close to the surface rather than on the seabed. Argonauta species are characterized by very large eyes and small webs between the arms. The funnel, mantle locking apparatus is a major diagnostic feature of this taxon. It consists of knob-like cartilages in the mantle and corresponding depressions in the funnel. Telescope octopus is a species of almost supernatural beauty. It is transparent. The only visible parts of its body are its eyes and digestive gland. Its delicate web reminds of some species of Dumbo octopus. It is very long and gelatinous, extending more than 2/3 up the arms. Each arm has only one row of white, widely spaced suckers. The mantle does not have a single opening as it is the case with most octopuses, but rather 2 smaller openings each located beneath an eye. The telescope octopus has very long eyes located on two movable stalks. These protruding and tubular eyes, which look like telescopes, endow the telescope octopus with increased peripheral vision. Thanks to its wider field of vision, it can spot both approaching enemies and potential prey. Mating of these pygmy octopus is thought to occur at or below 1,000 meters deep. In the darkness, whether mating is successful or not may depend on the female. She can choose whether to signal the male with her circumaural photophore. The light emitted by the photophore is believed to be of a specific wavelength, possibly both preventing miscommunication and the attraction of predators. As they mature, the young begin their gradual descent to the mesopelagic and eventually bathypelagic zones. The curled octopus is a species of cephalopod found in the northeast Atlantic. The total length of an adult is around 50 centimeters, but their arms are often tightly curled. When preying on crabs, it immobilizes the crab by injecting toxins into the body of the crab through a hole created in its shell using the octopus's radula. The octopus then injects saliva into the crab, and the digestive enzymes contained in that saliva break down the crab's internal attachments to its shell, allowing the octopus to easily remove the carapace. It is mainly bycatch in commercial fisheries of the northeastern Atlantic and Mediterranean, where the common octopus is the preferred species. Boxer octopus is endemic to the South Atlantic off southern Africa below a depth of 500 meters, where it was one of the most commonly sampled cephalopods, taken mainly from the seabed. Most species of octopus are solitary when not mating, though a few are known to occur in high densities and with frequent interactions, signaling, mate defending and eviction of individuals from dens. This is likely the result of abundant food supplies combined with limited den sites. Octopuses are ranked as the most intelligent invertebrates. Giant Pacific octopuses are commonly kept on display at aquariums due to their size and interesting physiology, and have demonstrated the ability to recognize humans with whom they frequently come in contact. These responses include jetting water, changing body texture, and other behaviors that are consistently demonstrated to specific individuals. They have the ability to solve simple puzzles, open child-proof bottles, and use tools. The octopus brain has folded lobes and visual and tactile memory centers. They have about 300 million neurons. They have been known to open tank valves, disassemble expensive equipment, and generally wreak havoc in labs and aquaria. Some researchers even claim that they are capable of motor play and having personalities. Unlike most other octopus species, whose lifespans normally span only 1 year, the giant Pacific octopus has a lifespan of 3 to 5 years. To help compensate for its relatively short lifespan, the octopus is extremely prolific. It can lay between 120,000 and 400,000 eggs, which are coated in chorion and attached to a hard surface by the female. The spawn is intensively cared for exclusively by the female, who continuously blows water over it and grooms it to remove algae and other growths. While she fulfills her duty of parental care, the female stays close to her spawn, never leaving to feed, leading to her death soon after the young have hatched. The female's death is the result of starvation, as she subsists on her own body fats during this period of approximately 6 months. Blue-ringed octopuses spend most of their time hiding in crevices while displaying effective camouflage patterns with their dermal chromatophore cells. Like all octopuses, they can change shape easily, which allows them to squeeze into crevices much smaller than themselves. This, along with piling up rocks outside the entrance to its lair, help safeguard the octopus from predators. If they are provoked, they quickly change color, becoming bright yellow with each of the 50 to 60 rings flashing bright iridescent blue within a third of a second as an aposematic warning display. The blue-ringed octopus, despite its small size, carries enough venom to kill 26 adult humans within minutes. Their bites are tiny and often painless, with many victims not realizing they have been envenomated until respiratory depression and paralysis begins. No blue-ringed octopus antivenom is available. Immediately after hatching, the pale octopus forages, primarily on bivalves. At night it hides in rubble to surprise prey. Female maturation is dependent on age as well as season. Both sexes can distinguish vertical from horizontal rectangles, and gradient grays from each other and uniform gray. Octopuses have a closed circulatory system, in which the blood remains inside blood vessels. Octopuses have 3 hearts, a systemic or main heart that circulates blood around the body and 2 branchial or gill hearts that pump it through each of the 2 gills. The systemic heart is inactive and the animal is swimming and thus it tires quickly and prefers to crawl. Octopus blood contains the copper-rich protein hemocyanin to transport oxygen. This makes the blood very viscous and it requires considerable pressure to pump it around the body. Gloomy octopus occurs in the intertidal zone along rocky shores and in the ocean, and it has been suggested that this species is associated more commonly with rocky reefs during the breeding season, although they frequent areas of the sea bed with soft sediments for much of their life. They alter their habitats by digging out dens and using remains from prey, including but not limited to shells. It is very common for scallop beds to be found in close proximity to the excavated dens. The scallops serve as a food source and their shells are part of the shell beds built. This species of octopus is considered to be an ecosystem engineer. This means that the way they create their habitats influences and builds an ecosystem around their dwellings. The shell beds that are created around the excavated dens attract hermit crabs and fish due to the various hiding places created. Small fish and other small prey species attract larger species and the cycle builds, creating an ecosystem. Common octopus have evolved to have large nervous systems and brains. An individual has about 500 million neurons in its body, almost comparable to dogs. They are intelligent enough to distinguish brightness, navigate mazes, recognize individual people, learn how to unscrew a jar or raid lobster traps. They have also been observed keeping gardens, in which they collect various marine plant life and algae, alongside collections of shells and rocks. The octopus uses gills as its respiratory surface. The gill is composed of branchial ganglia and a series of folded lamellae. Primary lamellae extend out to form demi-branches and are further folded to form the secondary free-folded lamellae, which are only attached at their tops and bottoms. The tertiary lamellae are formed by folding the secondary lamellae in a fan-like shape. Water moves slowly in one direction over the gills and lamellae, into the mantle cavity and out of the octopus funnel. The Caribbean reef octopus has been known to learn from others of the same species, and some have disguised themselves as algae or coconuts to avoid predatory detection. This octopus, while not considered very aggressive, will show cannibalistic qualities if individuals are kept too close to one another in captivity. It lives in hidden, rocky lairs that are difficult to locate. Their lairs are usually created in shallow warm waters. It is not a social animal, and stays at a safe distance from other octopuses of the same species, except for mating. If faced with a predator, a Caribbean reef octopus sucks up a volume of water, then expels it quickly in the form of a jet to propel itself away. To further deter predators, it can eject ink to mask its escape. This octopus does not live in its lair for its entire life. Instead, it moves often except when caring for eggs or young. Maori octopus is found in the waters around New Zealand and southern Australia. It is one of the largest and most aggressive octopus species living in the New Zealand and Australian waters. They feed mainly on crustaceans and fish. Although they have a short lifespan, the females lay thousands of eggs and are very protective of them. While research was being carried out, the behavior of Maori octopus was monitored, and results showed that while being in the aquarium they showed a variety of behaviors such as fighting, flamboyant postures, and defensive upturning of arms, withdrawing and cleaning. The mimic octopus uses a jet of water through its funnel to glide over the sand while searching for prey, typically small fish, crabs, and worms. It prefers river mouths and estuaries, as opposed to reefs, which are usually preferred as shelter by other types of octopus. This is due to its ability to impersonate toxic animals, putting it at less risk of predation than others in the open. They have been observed mimicking numerous different species of animals, some animals being mimicked more often than others. Among the animals mimicked are lionfish. The octopus holds its arms out radially to mimic the fish's spines. Sea snake, hiding 6 of its arms, it holds the remaining 2 parallel to each other. Jellyfish, by inflating its mantle and trailing its arms behind it. And zebra sole, holding all 8 arms behind it as it uses its siphon to swim. Not only does the mimic octopus use its ability to defend from predators, it also uses aggressive mimicry to approach wary prey, for example mimicking a crab as an apparent mate, only to devour its deceived suitor. The octopus may be able to intelligently use its mimicry based on the situation. For example, an octopus which was being harassed by damselfish mimicked a banded sea snake, a damselfish predator. It decides which mimicry behavior would be most appropriate and acts upon it. Angel octopus has a single line of suckers on each arm, and its head, mantle, and part of its arms are covered in warts. Although its reproductive habits have not been extensively studied, the species is believed to be one of the most fecund among octopuses in its region and depth level, despite the species possessing large eggs and extremely large spermatophores. The species is found in the Indian Ocean, off the coast of Africa. The species has been captured from depths between 400 and 750 meters below sea level.